Hi, we're TPKhaos. I'm Billy. We got Matt, Caleb, and Zion
Said
here.
it wrong.
What?
You should have said, hey, I'm Billy, Matt, Zion, everybody.
No, I'm missing my fifth tentacle today. Yeah. So anyway, we're here discussing the one-shot playtest of the new Arcana rules. So what do you guys think? How did it go?
I think it went too successful. I think we should have made some mistakes along the way, but we just didn't for some reason.
Our dice were great and his were terrible.
Yeah, they kind of just walks right through it. Even a pit fiend, a level or CR 20 against a bunch of level 10.
It shouldn't be a CR 20 though. That thing is just a meat shield with a hammer. Oh, I also forgot. So technically, you didn't even get me down to half health because I have uncanny dodge. So the big hit you hit me for 30 something would have been for 10.
This is uncanny dodge.
Well, you have to declare that, and you can only do it once.
Yeah.
Per round.
But your biggest attack was a 30, so I could have had that down to
15.
Yeah. So I would have added 15 more, so I would have still been around 40 something.
So what do you guys think about it? I'm not big on the rule where you guys sacrifice your entire turn to take a hide or crouch, even
they're
take
trying
cover. Technically, I don't know if I'm misinterpreting it, but the rules said if you're going to take half cover or take cover, that takes your action.
Because you're trying to put yourself in an advantageous position, and by the act of doing that, you're doing a skill or talent, and that costs an action. But that's why they're trying to emphasize other skills from other classes. Like a rogue can do that as a bonus. So, play a rogue if you want to hide.
But otherwise, you're just sacrificing an entire round.
But see, the way they do stealth, though, it's a lot stronger than just in normal. Because once you're hidden, unless another creature sees you already, that creature can't make a perception check now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just
to make that perception check should take their entire action turn also.
The creatures, yeah.
That's the search action.
Yes.
That is what's now known as the search action.
But creatures have to take that, which would just, ruin their
They're
attacking.
they're not going to take that and ruin their action economy just looking for people. That would totally be detrimental.
No, they're trying to balance it out between the players and the monsters, but ultimately what it does is you're going to get to a point where, we're all just going to hide then. Have the monsters try to find us, and it's just going to slow down to a crawl.
Mm-hmm.
Or
is it going to become Scooby-Doo shenanigans where everybody's running and hiding and then the monster's chasing after them?
Or you're going to have a barbarian that just wants to fight, and the barbarian's like, oh, okay, the monster's all going to converge because it's gangbang time.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that spell you kept using?
It was...
Mind Sliver?
No, it was Mind Spear or something similar to that.
Is that a new one?
No.
Because I had not heard of that one before. But that was very potent.
It was a fourth level spell.
When you're looking at the action economy of it. Because what he did was he stopped the pit fiend from being able to take a turn. He just wiped his turn out a couple times.
It was Rollothim's Psychic Lance.
And then
check which source book it's from.
Your character actually was able to pull off an ensnaring shot on a pit fiend. And I looked up the rules. No, I'm like, yeah, he got it.
And it had advantage because it was a large creature. Larger creatures have advantage on the save. And which you did get on the second time I tried it.
But the first time, and you totally took him out, and you guys were using mostly ranged on him, so you guys kind of had him stuck. The best he could do was cast a fireball spell, but that everybody passed their save on that, even though he's got a DC 21 save. And did minimal damage.
But I think that was a bit on the dice, a lot of that was just luck, he just rolled low, we just rolled high. A part of that was just the fact that we all did really well with our dice. Luck was on our side today. If it weren't for...
I don't know. Even if you did half as good on your dice, I think you still would have taken him out. Because you guys hardly took any damage while you brought him down from 300 to nothing in no time.
Well, again, that's because he couldn't move. If he didn't, consider this, right? He was at the bottom of the round. That's the first thing.
Yeah, he lost initiative.
Low. So he had to deal with a ballista.
It's from
deal
one of
with
the
Worthless
newer source books. It's from
Mordenkainen's?
It's
Or,
from Fizban's Treasury of Dragons.
Oh, the dragons one. Okay. But yeah, he had to deal with the ballista.
Worthless.
Then he had to deal with whatever the crossbow, which was just, normal crossbow, but had sneak attack and all of that. He did good numbers on that.
and they were all magic weapons, so they were doing full damage.
Then he got damaged and taken out of the game, for a single round. And then I was able to set myself up to be able to fight better, get myself set up and then do more damage to him, put my hunter's mark on him and all that. And he couldn't do anything because he was just
Stuck.
unconscious or whatever. And then he had to go through all 4 of those turns again. And while he failed to save on, while it went down and you didn't get it that time, I was then able to win, stop him because, again, you just rolled low. It was all, we just had a good setup and just the dice were against you today.
I mean, it's fine.
But-
you guys, the players should win.
Yeah.
But even a pit fiend should be a little bit more of a challenge than that. You
But
know?
see, the problem is that you chose something that has nothing special about it. Replace that with like a vampire, something that has like legendary actions.
Like if I was going to do like a dragon or something that had some legendary actions that was a level 20, then you guys would have been in a lot more trouble. But I did pick him for that reason.
Because he was nothing.
Yeah. And like you were retrieving a soul from hell and stuff. So
I will say this though, because of how they laid out like the new feats, like at what levels you get them and everything, it was a lot easier to bump those numbers up.
was that easier? Because I
much.
wasn't sure on how that would actually play out. So
I took the human, right? And so I immediately got my 1 feat, the only feat I needed. That means I got 2 extra stat bumps.
So what feat did you take?
Grew up master.
How did you get Misty Step?
Or 2, sorry, yeah. I think in total there were 3 chances I had to bump up my guy's stats. I had to use 1 for the freaking human to take Great Weapon Master, the Eldritch or whatever, the one that gets you Misty Step. I still got 2 more extra stat bumps.
At level 10? You should only had.
Because he gets
Should have had 3 altogether.
Because you get your background feat, and then he got an extra feat since he's a human.
Yeah.
Boy, that gets a little overpowered.
That's
fast,
what I mean.
doesn't
So like it was even easier to make something. Because like normally I would have had just to settle for having good dex, but not good strength. I had both.
Now, were you taking the feats that were only like the low level 1 feats?
Grow Up Master I think is level.
It is a level 1 feat.
It
or
is?
level 4.
And the other one's like a level 2, I think. Yeah, I looked through the feats with the new leveling system they have and everything.
Yeah.
There were no level 10 feats, so we could have gotten whatever we
'Cause
wanted.
I hadn't broken that down quite properly to see how easy it would be
I think
to
the
power
highest
game
level
with
feats
it.
they've got on there are 4.
Well, then you bust straight into the epic boons, which
Yeah,
are
which
Which
are
is
20.
20, yeah. But those obviously were not 20. But no, when you're talking about, it gives you like 1 extra basically stat increase to make your character however you want. Which, if you're power gaming, means you get an automatic +2 to whatever you want. Which in my case, I took strength.
Yeah. Very crazy. Interesting.
Mhm.
Any other thoughts about that?
I think this was the most broken I've ever felt as a ranger. And the big reason because of that was that ability to just boost that my damage up from a D6 to a D8. Just the one die was it, but it felt so much better.
Yeah, because technically that's only
technically, I
going to
was
give you like 1 extra average per attack. You
but
know?
it felt nice to be able to just do that. And in addition, I was able to hold that spell while having bark skin up. And then once I dropped bark skin and moved on to ensnaring strike, I was still able to have hunter's mark because you don't need concentration as a hunter. As a hunter, you don't need to hold the concentration
nice.
on a hunter's mark.
But see, that came with them actually like rebalancing Ranger. Because Ranger's still not as powerful as other classes, but they took a step towards the right direction to make it better.
I was very happy to have hunter's mark that entire time and be able to use it in a way that felt fitting for a ranger. It just
And it
felt
did too.
good.
That actually worked pretty well.
But we said it before, though, during the thing. Your double crits with all the damage you did 25 damage. My attack normally did 34 with good rolls.
And how do you get that?
That was Great Weapon Master plus my 8 plus my weapon.
So how much damage did Great Weapon Master add?
10.
And that is that taking the -5?
Mhm.
I think they've changed the rules for Great Weapon Master.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that seems that's a bit much. They need to.
I'm pretty
fix
sure they've
that.
changed the rules for Great Weapon Master and Sharpshooter, where like
Yes, they did change sharpshooter a little bit.
where
I don't know the original rules, but I do have
it's
the
this
new
literally the
rules.
same as Great Weapon Master, where take -5 and get 10 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been different. That's been altered for sharpshooter.
Well, because think about it, because this is how Cadell broke your game at a low level, because he was a human. He took Great Weapon Master, and as soon as he got locked around, the +7, +8, +9 to hit. So I had a +12 to hit.
Now, how do you get the +12?
So that's the 1 was for the weapon,
Mhm.
the green weapon. The 1, so it was a +9 originally.
Why
I got-
is that a +9 though?
You're taking Dex. And the Dex I had plus Thief gives you expertise and something else.
The expertise wouldn't apply to your weapon damage or modifier, would
Proficiency,
it?
because it increases the proficiency for it.
Expertise.
Does it?
Expertise on a rogue only affects your skills.
The expert
Ex-
class.
Yeah, the expertise on a for ranger, bard, and rogue only affects their skills, not their weapons. But right, Great Weapon Master, if that's the correct feat, they get altered. First, when you drop a creature to 0 hit points using a melee attack,
You get a bonus action attack.
No,
no,
that's-
no.
And that's
No,
true. That's
it's
even
either-
more broken.
Either landing a critical hit or reducing a hit point creature to his 0 hit points give you a bonus action attack.
Oh, so technically I should have had another attack. That's actually more broken than what it was.
But when you hit a creature with a heavy weapon, you can cause the weapon to deal extra damage to the target. The extra damage equals your proficiency bonus, and you can deal it only once per turn.
Oh,
So it
they,
has been altered.
So how
and
is
you
that
weren't-
now?
so they did change, because before it was just
So
you could do a +10.
So if you take a heavy weapon and hit something with it, you can add your proficiency bonus to the damage
Mhm.
once per turn. That's the same thing. That's similar to the Hunter's Mark thing, where only once per turn could I boost the damage up, but I can do that once per turn. And there's no restriction beyond that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I kind of
But-
like that more for a Great Weapon Master, because as you level up, since it's a level 1 feat,
Yeah, it kind of
it increases as you go.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think the way it was before is a little too much, where it's like just +10 every single time.
Mhm.
And, I got my modifier up to a +12, so I never miss anyway. And you're just
Yeah.
like,
So there's no risk at all.
Yeah, no risk. And you got you got 3 extra attacks, so that's +30 damage every round. Like, no wonder
That's probably
why.
why they ended up nerfing it, though.
Oh yeah.
So that would be different then, because I would have done what?
A lot less if your proficiency
proficiency
bonus
don't-
would have been a 3 or a 4 at that
Our
level.
proficiency is only
It's
4.
4. So
So-
+4 instead of a +10 every time.
And you could only do it once per turn.
And once, yeah.
Well, I would have lost what? I would have lost
26?
12 damage per turn. I can only attack twice. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, because I would have gained the bonus attack once, but that still wouldn't have covered the full. So I would have done an average of about 15 damage less every turn.
Mm-hmm.
So they did nerf that quite heavily then. Because
Yeah.
unless you're crit fishing, you're not getting the damage you would have gotten. Because, take for example, Cadell could attack 4 times at the very end using action surge. If each one was a +10 and he was guaranteed to hit because he had like a +15 or whatever to
Yeah.
hit,
Yeah, you'd have to roll like a 1 or 2 to miss
miss.
most of the time.
that was 40 damage immediately just from that one round of attacks.
Uh-huh.
and plus you're talking about he had well, I think it was
Well,
like
he had a great axe, so he's doing
A D12.
the
D12s.
the D12 plus like 8, so he was doing like so like an average of like 15 plus 10, so it's like 100 for that round.
yeah.
Minimum, not including smites or anything. So I can see why they would nerf it to the point where it's like
Yeah,
do
that's a
think-
bit too much.
I feel
Did
like
they do the same thing to sharpshooter then?
Yeah,
because
it's the same
sharpshooter is
thing.
what.
It got seriously altered as well. Let me look at it.
Because that's what Mirk's using now is sharpshooter to get his plus 10.
I think if they were gonna let you attack every turn with it, I think they should change it to like you can only attack using it this many times using your proficiency
Then
bonus
it's not
per
worth
short
using
or long
though.
rest.
So you
Because think about it, I could have went with something else, or I would have just reworked it.
But with the old rules, it's like everybody's like, why take anything else? Because it's so good. You know, everybody, you
Yeah.
almost
Well,
have to take
the
sharpshooter.
requirements to use it, though, you do have to be using a strength weapon, which
Yeah.
you can use a finesse
Mhm.
for it.
You
And
have to
that's
use
where
a-
the rogue and barbarian kind of like.
But then what isn't a strength weapon if you can use a finesse for it?
No. So finesse, there's only like 3 finesse weapons. It's like a rapier.
But those are dex weapons.
No.
It's
They're
different.
versatile is mostly dex and two-hand. You have strength, you have the two-handed weapons.
no.
Finesse is only like 3 weapons max, and the rapier was one of them.
But you're saying
rapier,
finesse is
dagger, and
strength
bonus.
weapon. Everything
No,
is
no.
strength based except for finesse weapons.
No. How it works is every melee weapon is a strength-based weapon. Period. The end.
There
But
you go.
finesse weapons have the give you the ability to use either strength or dexterity. You can use either because instead of being just
But then if-
full heavy swinging, you can be more of like
But then, like, if he's
dancing.
saying he's looking for a strength
It's more
based
precise.
weapon, then that's every weapon.
So that means technically that
No.
doesn't sound right. 'cause
that
I
is
couldn't
every
use-
melee weapon.
Mhm.
Ranged weapons are dex only.
Yeah, not ranged weapon.
Well, no, but that means I could have used my great axe
Yeah.
with sneak attack, which
No,
is not right.
No, because
You said it was
sneak
a
attack
strength-based.
requires dexterity.
Ah, there it is. So
Sneak attack
finesse
requires
for
a
dex.
finesse weapon.
Yeah, that's why you would need a finesse weapon.
It requires a finesse weapon.
There you
in
go.
order for you to
because
do sneak attack.
because while
Because you could have a barbarian run with a freaking great axe, like I'm gonna sneak attack.
yeah, you can't get any of your benefits from anything but a strength weapon as a barbarian. You can't get your benefits from anything but a dex weapon from a rogue.
All right, Wizard. So what we're saying is make it simpler because we all work full time jobs and we need to be able to math in our heads and like jumping through hoops trying to figure the stuff out. It's a bit much, so keep it simple.
I
Stupid.
will say though, D&D Beyond gave me the rogue crap. So because you just throw it in there, you just let it happen. They will eventually have to update it, which I don't know. I'm still not liking a whole lot of the new rules and changes.
I liked how the ranger was altered. I think that was just a straight.
Yeah, the Ranger is good.
Boost.
They needed to bump it up.
They
Ranger's
really
worthless before.
they really made it better.
Because I
A
saw
lot of the-
at like level 10, your hunter's mark actually goes up to a D10 each time you attack.
Does it?
That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it gets
that's
upgraded as you
good.
go.
And the vulnerabilities thing, knowing that's
Yeah.
pretty good as
So
well.
now, okay, so now that's another thing that Wizards does need to fix, though. Vulnerability is worthless.
Nothing
Period.
uses it.
Point. There's only like 12 monsters out of fucking 300 that's vulnerable to something. Knowing the resistances is good,
Yeah.
but if you're gonna make vulnerability be a thing, you need to give it to more things. 12 out of 300 is what is that? That's not even.
Well, then you get into a lot of metagamey stuff where, you know, you see the creature coming, everybody knows, oh, it's vulnerable to acid damage, so like
Yeah.
bust out all the acid, pew, 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 pew. And like nobody's ever like confirmed that your guys know this, you know?
Yeah. So having that helps to mitigate metagaming.
Yeah, but you're talking about like. Well,
That's
we've
also-
been DMing for a chunk now. I don't know
Couple
the stats
years
of
now.
every
Yeah.
single freaking monster that there exists.
Pretty close though.
I mean, I can
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is also a hunter exclusive ability though. So if
Oh,
once they
okay.
release other subclasses, it's gonna change.
Now, what they do need to release like more, because we talked about on the drive over here. they need more class-specific abilities.
Mhm.
They do.
Because that would incentivize you playing hunter, rogue, whatever. No one's gonna play artificer because they're the worst class, I think, now.
All right, time's up. We love you guys. Like, subscribe. Let us know down in the comments what you think. We'll come up with some more videos. Hopefully the Wizards of the Coast will refine their system and we'll be happy with the final result.
I doubt it, but we'll try.
Peace. We love you.
Bye.
Thank you guys for checking out today's video. We post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for more glorious D&D content. Please like, comment, subscribe, throw it all down below. We always appreciate it, and we will see you guys next week.